Hey, welcome to this podcast where the truth is released to inspire you to find your voice, bring out the gold within you, and help you reach your full potential to roar out loud in the world around you. I'm your host, Mary Street, and I'm here to take you on a weekly journey of hope, inspiration, and empowerment. This podcast is where we believe in turning up the volume on life's practical tips, impart insightful wisdom, as well as share life stories of triumph, resilience, and passion. In each episode, we'll be diving deep into relevant topics in today's world, as well as into the incredible lives and stories of extraordinary everyday individuals like you and me who have been set free from the fears, lies, and have overcome great adversity and found their voice to release their roar. So whether you're tuning in during your morning drive, working out at the gym, getting ready for school, or cozying up with that good cup of coffee, get ready to amplify your life and ignite your courage. This is Roar Out Loud. Hey everyone, welcome to today's episode. I'm super excited to be here with you. And today we are diving into a topic that has challenged me in many, many ways, and I'm sure has challenged many of you guys as well. So let's get focused on today's target for this episode. So my husband has a love for guns, and since I was a kid, I loved guns as well. And now that may surprise many of you, and if you've never met me, you may be like, oh really? You have a love for guns? And if you've met me and you don't really know me, you're probably really shocked that I would say that, but it's true. I've had a love for guns, and I never had real guns growing up. However, I collected these cap guns, and I had a love for the ones that were like 6 shooters and revolvers, and they were loud. They were these like silver revolvers with these plastic handles, and they were cap guns. And you would literally shoot them. They'd be like, bang! You know, spark would go off. My son has one of them, and oftentimes he'll sneak into wherever his sisters are and shoot that thing off. It is loud. Or if we have guests over and he shoots it, and it actually releases this little bit of smoke, and it's funny. And I loved them. So I would play with guns with my brother Daniel, and often would take my shoelaces off and I would tie them around both ends of the stick as to create like a strap that would strap over you, to create this like sling where I would hold it on my neck. So I'd play with like I was shooting, and it would be like a rifle or something. So we would climb our trees, we would run around, in the backyard or different things like that. And I just loved to play with guns. I just have always loved guns. And somewhere around 9.5 or 10 years old, I got to shoot my first gun, which in reality was no big deal if you think about it today, because it was just a simple BB gun. But it was a big deal to me. And while playing, I always focused. I focused on that target. Even if I had that shoestring makeshift stick of a gun, I focused. And I focused on targets. And I would always squint that eye and focus and try to shoot the target. With BB guns as well. When it came to shooting squirrels or snakes, I hate snakes. And so yes, sometimes I'd pop snakes on the head or different things if I saw them. And during this season, I lived in Texas. And so yeah, BB guns were no big deal. So now as a grown-up, I love to shoot real guns. Yes, I love shooting. And for part of our actual Valentine date this year, my husband surprised me and took me to the shooting range for fun. I actually love just like pounding out those bullets, shooting at the target. I loved the big bang. Yes, we had the earmuffs on. We had all the safety equipment on, the glasses and everything. But it was just fun to be there. We laughed a lot. And he would show me how to empty out some of the bullets on some of the different guns and different things. Because I don't know all the ins and outs to truly cleaning guns. I'm no expert. However, I just like to go shoot, and it was just a lot of fun. And while I was doing it, I could see the target, and I loved how you could press a little button and the target would go far away or it would come closer to you. And I just love to be able to shoot the target and shoot it from the 10-yard line, the 15-yard line or more. And it was phenomenal. And I was laser focused in on it. Not with a literal real laser, but just really, really focused. Now, some of the guns I shot were automatic, so I could pump out really quickly some of the bullets, one right after the other. And when I would randomly shoot, I never really would hit the target. But when I really, really laser focused in and really looked, I would hit the target. Bullseye. That's what I would aim for. Being in this state of mind brought me back to something that I've been realizing about more and more. When I was there at that shooting range, I was like, this is what we need to do as a people. We need to be laser focused. And when I think about being laser focused, I think about goals. I always have goals in my mind, and I will think about them on a weekly, daily, monthly basis, and I write them down and see them daily in front of me, focus on them, and then sometimes I would never get them done. I wouldn't always get them done. Sometimes I would write them down, get them out of my system, out of my head, but I would not take the fast action and just do them. I would look at them, see them, but not actually follow through. And sometimes I would lose the paper, or I would forget to relook at them. And sometimes I would get distracted. That's easy for me. How many of you do that? You get distracted. And if that happens, it just wouldn't even sometimes even get written down. I may think about the goal. I may go, oh, I need to do this. Think about the task at hand. And then I just wouldn't always follow through to write it down. And it was frustrating. And if I'm never really focused, if I don't write things down, nothing ever gets accomplished. So let's talk about why sometimes this happens. I know for me in my life, one of the big things that I would fight was procrastination. Yes, let's say that awful P word, procrastination. I was always that person that procrastinated on school projects growing up. I would wait to the last minute to write that report and drudge my feet through the mud. That's what it felt like. Or if I knew I had something major to get done, I would procrastinate. And I would procrastinate on that school project, like I said, or calling that person, or finishing that task at my workplace, or I just really would leave things to the last minute, or sometimes even leave things undone. And I laugh about it now because that was me in the past. And I remember how I would constantly push the line, push the envelope, so to speak. And because of this weakness or lack of discipline in this area, I have honestly, I would battle these feelings of feeling like a failure, like I screwed up and felt like, oh, well, if I didn't accomplish that task, I would feel like this, oh, well, it doesn't matter. You'll just never get it done. You're not disciplined enough. That's just a part of your weakness, and that's the way it's always going to be. Can I just tell you, lie? Say that with me. That's a lie. That is such a lie. That is not the way it's always going to be. It's not that I'm never going to be good at something. Guess what? I can discipline myself and be good at things, and so can you, because I'm a powerful person, and I believe that you're a powerful person as well. And you don't have to believe the lies that you're never going to be good at something, that you're never going to be good at setting goals, you're never going to be good at keeping them. What's the point? Because I'm just going to always fail at it. I'm telling you, this was my mindset over and over and over again. When I was in ministry school in my third year in 2022, I had this incredible mentor, and God used him to help me overcome in this area of procrastination in my life. And I use that word overcome because I have come a long ways. I've overcome a lot. Have I overcome everything? Am I perfect in this area? I am not perfect. I mean, as a mother of 4 children, a wife, and juggling business and ministry and things like that, I can always have all the excuses to procrastinate. And there are real things in my life where I just get tired sometimes. And I'm like, okay, let me push it to the last minute to cook dinner. Or let me push it to the last minute to get these things done. And I find I really have to lean in, and I've got to get focused. And this mentor in my life, God really, really did use him to help me overcome a lot of this. And I learned more and more to be laser focused on the goal, on the target. And he would have us write out our daily and weekly and personal goals and our work goals for the ministry. And I really loathed doing this at first because I would fail. Like I said, I felt like I would fail often. I would fail at something and always had this like doom and gloom kind of mindset over me. Maybe it was not getting that newsletter out on time or different things like that. And I just would be so frustrated at myself often. And I believed that there just wasn't enough time in the day. And that was a lie that I was partnering with. And while it may feel like that at times in our lives, the truth is that God never gives us more than we can handle. And there is always enough time to accomplish what we're called to accomplish. Did you catch that? I said there is always enough time to accomplish what we are called to accomplish, what is ours. Now, some of you listening to this may have things on your plate that you need to knock off. You literally don't need those things on your plate, and you need to knock them off because guess what? They are not yours in this season to accomplish. Now, there may be things on your plate that you do believe are yours. Those are goals you want to get done, and that's great, but maybe they're not for this season. It's always good to reevaluate where we are at, and because it can feel hard and the struggle is real. It's so real, and you're like, yes, I'm at this place where I want to do all these things. I want to accomplish all these goals, and I have this, and you have that big old plate in your hand. But the weight of it is hard to really carry and hard to bear. And there are things that I struggled with that kept me out of a focused mindset, such as what I've already mentioned, procrastination. Procrastination, it's a common obstacle that can hinder the progress towards our goals. And also overcoming procrastination requires growing your muscle of discipline. Yeah, put your muscles up. Discipline. It's all about growing these muscles of discipline. And that D word sounds like a real D word. Because the reality is discipline sometimes can feel really hard. But it's just that it feels hard. Is it really hard? No, because when you actually do something, it's scientifically proven. If you do something 21 times or more, you really lasered in, you focused, and you grew that muscle to be disciplined in that area. So growing that muscle of discipline is so important, and learning to really implement time management skills and staying accountable with them. You can stay accountable with other people in your life. I also struggled in different seasons with unhealthy lifestyle choices, which attributed to lack of focus and not really being able to hit my target, because oftentimes I just felt, not that great. I would feel constant tiredness, constant fatigue, and just this I don't want to do it. When you're not in a healthy lifestyle, you have poor nutrition, you're not exercising regularly, you're not getting outside, you're not just not making good choices for your body, which all impacts that overall well-being of your mind. And if your mind is not in a good place, if your health is not in a good place and it's affecting your mind, then it's going to affect you being able to be laser focused and not being able to really hit your goals. These things all contributed to a lack of this focus in my own life. And I'm sharing from this place of I've been there. I've been there. And at times I'm still walking in that place with you, where you're not in this alone. You are not in this alone. I'm telling you, get people around you and be accountable and talk to other people. Because when I speak to other people about this, there are areas in their lives too that they need that accountability on, and that they need help with, and that they need to be lasered in and focused. And you can team up with people and create that accountability system in your life to get goals done and to really, really get laser focused so you're not missing your goals. You're not hitting that target. One of the things that caused me to also not hit my target was struggling with having too many irons in the fire. Have you heard that phrase before? You've got too many irons in the fire. And that was me. I've always felt like I could be one of these person that spins a lot of plates, and I have been at different points in my life. And sometimes in different seasons, you actually have more strength to spin more plates than other seasons. But again, you've got to get laser focused. What is yours right now in this season? Because too many irons in the fire is not always good. And I would find myself multitasking. Now, some people do have that higher capacity. They have that higher work capacity and can get many, many things done at once. But did you know that you can't actually multitask? That's kind of a weird concept because many people are like, hey, I'm a multitasker. And I think that too sometimes. I'm a multitasker, but in reality, it's a lie. You can't multitask because your brain is switching. It's switching quickly between the activities that you're working on. So I'm over here working on this activity, and then I'm going to do this activity later on in about an hour or 2 hours or, 4 hours from now. So you're not actually multitasking, but you do at times can have a lot of those irons in the fire where you don't need to be causing your brain more energy to be switching back and forth. You need to just laser focus on one thing. The reality is some people, they can switch more quickly than others, but not all of us. And I have found in my own life that I have believed that lie. I have believed that lie and have tried to do so many things at once, and it caused me to crash, literally. I crashed because I wasn't laser focused. And I crashed in this place where I began to really have that anxiety and frustration and sometimes even heart palpitations because my body was under stress. That's not good. When we attempt to juggle too many things at one time, we may accomplish them. But then, like I said, you burn out. And this majorly can affect you. It can affect your family. It can affect your workplace. It can affect a lot of things in your life. It can affect your health. I lost my steam. I got adrenal fatigue. And I started getting, like I said, that anxiety. And it really shifted my focus. And like it did for me in past seasons, it can sabotage your ability to get things done just on a daily basis because your health is going downhill and going downhill quickly. And that is so not good. That's so not good for you. It's not good for your family. It's not good for the people around you. It's not good for your job. It's not good for the things that you need to get done. So you got to knock away these distractions. Knock away the distractions that are in your life. Knock away things that are going to cause you anxiety. Some of the distractions in my own life is my phone. I find when I'm on my phone way too much, like I took all the games off of my phone. My kids beg me, why did you take the games off? Can you put games back on your phone? I'm always like, no, I'm not going to put games on my phone because I found that games distracted me way too much. If I can sit and play a game for an hour, I could have written a chapter in another book for an hour. I could have done something else that was working towards creating maybe a resource or something that could be part of the 5 streams of different income that I'm trying to build towards. So there's so many distractions. And also that social media. Hello, I am so guilty of that. One of the lies that I battle is okay, I've put the kids to bed and now it's just me time. And so what am I going to do? I'm going to just scroll. Hello. How many of you parents out there are so guilty of that? You're like, I just want downtime, so I'm just going to scroll. Instead of scrolling, challenge yourself to do something useful with your time. Do you always have to work? No. But what do you like doing? Do you like writing? Do you like reading? I found that if I put my phone down and I don't scroll and I make a point to pick up a book and read, I am doing something that I absolutely love because I am just engrossed in more of a book and I'm learning. It's coming out of that space of if I read, I'm working. The reality is that if I read, I'm not working. I'm actually just bringing myself down before bedtime and coming into this more positive place of just rest. And when we're constantly on our phones, our brains, they're firing. They're constantly firing. We are using up more brain energy than we realize when we're constantly on our phones. Our phones are like these little computers. We just check our emails, we check our social media, and from it, we have all this background noise as well. And let me talk about background noise. One of the things that can be distracting is that background noise in our daily life with even family. I love my children. If you know me, I love my kids, my family. I'm a real family person. But background noise is real. When the kids are home, that is so real. And sometimes it can feel like, distraction, and trigger. And the reality is you got to create that space for you to be able to work from where there's no distraction. When I've been home and I've been working on writing and my kids are home, maybe on a break or over the weekend or something, and there's background noise, I'll be like, okay, I'm taking an hour to myself in the bedroom, and I literally would go lock myself in the bedroom. Do what you gotta do. Create space. Create space around you. Create space. And, for me, creating space sometimes was doing that. Sometimes if I wanted to write, it was getting out of my house, because I also would find myself thinking about everything way too much, seeing all the stuff that needs to get done around the house. And so I'd get out of my house and I'd go to a coffee shop, or I would create a space where I would have very specific time to get work done, like even going over to a friend's house for writing. I would say, okay, this Thursday, I'm going to spend the day and I'm going to write, and I'm going to go to my friend's house where there's nobody there, and I'm just going to focus. So getting laser focused, prioritizing your tasks, taking small bites, that's so important. That's another thing. Take small bites and really know your goals. It's so important to prioritize your goals and get laser focused on them one at a time. You don't have to accomplish all of them in a day. And, I felt like oftentimes in my past, I felt like that. I would make a checklist, and if I didn't accomplish those goals, my daily goals, I literally would feel so bad about myself and just be down on myself. But the reality is stuff happens in your day. And you do not have to accomplish every one of those goals in a day. I'm proud of myself now if I'm able to check 1 to 3 things off of my list. So be proud of yourself. When you prioritize, it helps you to have just a deeper level of concentration. And when you're more concentrated and working from a place of rest, not anxiety or stress, can I say that again? Not anxiety or stress, you will have better quality work and faster turnaround of completing your goals. Now for me, getting laser focused looks like writing down, like I said, writing down my goals and keeping them where I can see them, checking them off one by one. I have on my notes app on my phone, yes, I use my phone for this. On my notes app, I have, a checklist of things to do today. And I like to literally put a check in the circle and check things off. When I know I've accomplished something, I feel so good about it. And I know you can say the same. When you accomplish something, I'm sure you feel so good about it. So trying to grow in just this area of being disciplined, in liking and using my calendar on my phone. And in doing that, I found that I accomplished way much more because I knew my target. I knew what I needed to do for the day, and I was laser focused. I love that. I love being able to open up my phone in the morning, look at, okay, this is what I need to accomplish, or this is what I'm going for, or what I'm going to try to accomplish. And if I don't accomplish something, I put it on the next list for the next day. Now, it may take me a week to accomplish it. Like I've had right now, a newsletter that I need to get done. It's not done yet. I've been trying to find the space to do it. And instead, other things, for instance, like even this podcast has taken priority over that. And that's okay. I'm still accomplishing things. I'm still working towards a goal. I'm getting things done. I may not be getting everything done, but I'm getting things done. And that is what's so important. And like I said before, if you have to, find that accountability. Find it in a husband, find it in a friend, find it in someone in your life to be accountable to and say, hey, this is my monthly goals. This is my weekly goals. Hey, I want to lose 50 pounds. I want to lose 10 pounds. This is my goal. And see if they'll hold you accountable to your greatness. Yes, I'm saying greatness because you can be that person. You are a person, let's just say, of greatness. Start declaring that out over yourself. My mentor, he would pay his assistant $1 every time he didn't accomplish a weekly goal. Imagine that, paying someone if you don't accomplish your weekly goal. That actually would fast forward you to accomplishing things. Now, I haven't done that yet, but I sure have thought about it. I've thought about that. And I've even told my kids about that. And they're like, some of them have been like, yeah, pay me that $1. I'll make you stick to your goals. Would they really? I don't know about that. However, I haven't tried. Maybe I should lean into that and find out. So if you know that you have a great desire in you to accomplish certain tasks, then I want to challenge you. I want to challenge you to get laser focused. Find people that you can be accountable to. You're powerful to step into your discipline. Hey, I'm saying that to me, Mary, you're powerful to step into your discipline. The more I tell myself that and accomplish my goals, then the more I realize how much truth is in that statement. I am powerful to accomplish my goals. So what goals are in you that are waiting for you to get laser focused on? Who is needing you to step up and hit your target today, this week, this month, and this year? Hey, if I can do it, so can you.
Hey, thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed this podcast, hit subscribe, leave a review, and share it with your friends and family. Always remember, your voice matters. Your dreams are worth pursuing. And you, my friend, have the power to roar out loud.